Hello, 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 and welcome again, guys. It's your girl Tiffany, and we are on week two of 7 weeks, seven success stories. Today, we have the privilege of having with us the legendary Coach Jamal Flono, guys. Coach, it is a pleasure to have you here. Now, Jamal Flono, he was once an employee with the airlines, and circumstances cause him to realize that he needs to find another way. He's a phenomenal leader in our organization. Um, he is always there to coach us, guide us, just assist us in any way that we need. And we truly, truly appreciate you, Coach. So, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it for the invite.
Listen, it is a pleasure. I know I could count on you. I call you, you show up. That's what you do.
I love it. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it.
Nice. So we're just gonna dive into the questions, guys. And first question, Coach, before we do anything else, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Jamal Flono?
Well, look, I'm a strong black man from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a father. I'm a future husband. I'm someone that love to serve God and God's people. I really believe that we all have a abundance in us. We're all blessed to be here, and it's our duty just to give to the world and make it a better place.
Awesome. That is great. And that is needed so much in today's society. So tell us, Coach, what actually inspired you to get started, to get started on your credit, get started in the business? What inspired you?
Yeah, so there's a couple different reasons, right? It's a lot of them. As a matter of fact, if we want to talk about credit, uh, you know, when I first got started, it was actually before I got started. I didn't realize how important credit was. We didn't really
Mhm.
discuss it in our households growing up. Credit is one of those things that you don't even think about it until you need it, right? So I had ended up joining the military. This is in between the time you work at the airport, right? I joined the military and I tested pretty well, right? I did pretty well on the ASVAB test, and I
Mhm.
had options on which career I can choose in the military. So I chose IT, right? I was gonna be working with computers. I was like, I'm working inside, in the air conditioning. Everybody else out there, doing the on the ground stuff. I'm gonna be on the laptops, on the
Okay.
desktops. And that came with a $40,000 bonus for that job, right?
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, I'm excited about it. And I went to go get my, what they call clearances, right? And I didn't know they
Yeah.
ran credit then. And they
Mm.
ran my credit and said, yeah, you don't qualify.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, you probably owe us money for us running your credit, right? So and I was like, man, so I lost, that job. I lost that $40,000 bonus. But
Mhm.
I guess it's one of the reasons why I got started, at least work on my credit journey, right? So that was pretty powerful for me.
Nice. And a lot of people don't realize that credit can prevent them from getting a job.
Hmm.
Bad credit can prevent you from getting a job. That's how important it is.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that wasn't even a big thing a few years back. Obviously in certain, government jobs and military jobs, and yeah, definitely. But now it's starting to become a lot more common in
Yep.
just regular everyday jobs. Imagine running your credit for you to work at McDonald's. That'd
No,
be
wow.
insane, right?
So now that you've worked on your credit and you've gotten it, to where you want it to be or where you aspire it to be, how has improving your credit impacted your life?
Yeah, it's gonna quite a few things. Sometimes I've definitely had to bounce back for some things, right? And I remember speaking with my mentor, Mr. Rico McDaniel McCambridge, and he was telling me, he was like, "Hey, he was like, look, I got $168,000 worth of open credit cards." He said, "I only spend about 8,000 a month, and I pay it right back." And he was like, because you get so many different, perks and benefits. Like he said, he travels all over the country, got free frequent flyer miles. He gets to
Hmm.
stay at some of the best resorts in the world, you know, for free, right? Just because he has, amazing credit score.
Yeah.
But he also told me he said, you got to think about it like this as well. You're an entrepreneur. He said, all this could be gone at the blink of an eye. And I would need some way to hold me and my family over in case the kind of situation happens.
Okay.
And it made sense to me. And what I found out is the wealthy people, all they use is credit cards. They don't really use debit cards. And it kind of changed my perspective on, how money works. So yeah, for me, it put me in a situation where now I have a whole bunch of credit cards now. I'm not gonna show y'all because I don't want y'all scamming me. But just know I got a couple of plastic cards in my wallet.
And you have them not because you need them, but just in case.
Exactly.
You know, I love that. I love that. So, what is one piece of advice that you'd give to someone starting out with less than perfect credit?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the whole credit card thing because this is the thing. Most people in our households were told that credit cards are the devil. Don't get you no credit card, right? And that's because of their traumatic experience with credit cards. And
Hmm.
all that means is they weren't educated on how credit actually works. So you have to realize credit is based off of four different areas, right? And one of the biggest ones is credit utilization, and that's credit cards, right? You have to
Hmm.
have a certain amount of credit utilization that shows that you're responsible with credit. So, not having credit cards, you're already missing out on those 70 and 80 points. And then you can't have a healthy credit mix, which is another 10% of your credit. So now you're talking about, you're kind of putting yourself behind the eight ball when it comes to credit because someone told you that credit was the devil. Now, using credit cards irresponsibly is the devil. It's called lack of discipline. So don't blame it on the credit cards. If you're not using it as a tool, because if you use it as a tool, then you'll see all the benefits from
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. I came across one person once, because I'm a realtor and they didn't have any credit and they couldn't understand because when I first met them, they're like, okay, my credit is good. I'm ready to buy and all that stuff. And then I'm like, you don't have any credit. And they're like, how? They're like, but I never got credit cards. I never use it. So it's like, a lot of people think that credit is something that if you don't use it, it's still good.
it. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
it's a lot of miseducation like that.
a lot of miseducation like that. And a lot of them are scared to get credit cards because it's like they're scared that they're going to misuse it. And as long as they
Mhm.
don't get it, then they're good. But that is just wrong.
Yeah, and the way I always explain it is, it's like if you got two friends that actually borrow $100,
Mm-hmm.
you got one friend that that pays you back every time in early, right? And matter of fact, gives you a little extra for letting you borrow the money.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that one friend that you really don't know like that, right? And he asked you for some money, and I was like, I don't know you like that, right? For you to ask me for 100, let's start with five first, right? And and then that's how people kind of look at you, like two friends, one you've known for a while, one that has a track record of paying you back on time extra money, and one
Mm-hmm.
friend that you haven't known that long. They kind of ask you for money out of nowhere, and then you're not even sure if they got a job or are gonna play it back. So that like if you're kind of iffy with that, that's how lenders look at us when it comes to credit.
It's so funny that you said that because I have a friend like that. And I borrowed some money from him. And the first thing he did, he went back and he looked, he's like, oh, yeah, the last time you borrowed some, you paid me back. Okay, I can help you out this time. It is so funny you said that because
Yeah,
they do that.
that's a fact because I done had quite a few people ask me for money, and I'm
Oh
I'm
my
good
gosh.
most of the time.
Oh my gosh. Yes, you have to pay it back. And it's the same with credit. You have to pay it back. If you pay it back, they'll lend you and they'll lend you more.
Yep.
Yep. So tell me, what are your next steps or your goals for your credit business, for your credit and your business?
Yeah, so for me, my goal. This is my goal. I've been talking with my team about this. My goal is to create 100 six-figure earners that have at
Mm,
least a 700 credit score by 2027. Right. So that's a big goal. That's a goal that I can bring people into. Right.
okay.
So as we start marking off that list, I'm gonna be documented because what I understand is this is the perfect time to really take advantage of all things going on with the world, right? The Federal Reserve just cut rates, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now you start talking about having a little bit more what's the word? Less stress on certain financial criteria when it comes to getting loans and things of that nature. But also you don't know what's going to happen since we got a new person in office. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen. What I do know is either way, we're in a business of selling credit and money, right? We're in the if it's a recession, we're going to be in a recession selling money, which I think is ingenious, right? So I think we're going to be in a very place, especially with some of the tax codes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of stuff that's going to be very beneficial for people that decide to partner with us right now in this time.
Amazing. Well, listen, I'm glad I'm on this side of the fence already. So,
Right.
all right. So, how has this journey shaped you or changed you personally?
Oh man, that's such a good question. And a few years back, I wasn't able to communicate as well as I do now.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things my mentor always commends me on. He's like, man, just having conversations with you is a lot different. But also, it's been a whole shift in my mindset. Like, I literally took my first 2 or 3 years, and I tuned into my mentor's morning call and his Wednesday call every single day. And also, I poured more personal growth and self development into my head every single day. I didn't even realize that I was around someone like Dr. Miles Monroe. I didn't realize the impact he had on the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to see him all the time. I had an opportunity to even get mentored by him, but I didn't take the opportunity because I didn't have the right mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If I knew what I knew now, I would take advantage of that. And so for me, it's just like I'm night and day a different person, but yet the same person. Because I think a lot of times people are like, I want to remain myself. So yeah, you can remain yourself, just be the best version of yourself.
That's
So for
it.
me, I'm working on becoming the best version of myself every single day.
I love that. I love that. We don't realize it's not me against the world, it's me against me. It's me
Talk
being a
about
better
it.
person than I was yesterday. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And that's all you need to grow. Just try to be a better person than you were the day
Yep.
before.
What Michael Jackson say? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Right.
There you go. There you go. That's the only competition you got.
Yep.
So tell us, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice at the beginning of your journey, what would it be?
So one piece of advice for me, it'd be believe bigger. Right. We've had this conversation before too. It'll be believe bigger. Because what I understand is it's so once you start really learning about it, like I always have people look up six network marketing success stories
Mm-hmm.
and just go down that rabbit hole of watching like because I know Eric Ward did a whole interview and just hearing different people and like the kind of numbers they're pulling up. Like one of the guys I listened to, he had 15 years where he made $0. I'm talking about zero.
Mm-hmm.
Then one of the guys he had been around for a while decided to go to another company. He went with him. His first month he made $400,000, and he was making 400,000 $400,000 a month or more. And he was doing it for the last 10 years now. So it's like
Nice.
just hearing about like, wait a minute, it's but so many stories like that. And once you start understanding that, you stop focusing so much on $250 a month when you realize you can make
Mm,
250,000 a month, right?
nice.
So it's believing a lot bigger, a lot faster. Fail forward, right? Make sure that you make a lot of mistakes. You're not gonna do any of this perfect. You're not gonna know exactly what you're supposed to do when you first get started. That's why you
Mm-hmm.
gotta lean on mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get the mentorship, you'll start. It's certain things that you're gonna pick up, and that's what, like, a lot of times you look for little small little pieces that take to the next level, and that's why it's important to get to events. So I just say believe bigger, a lot faster.
Believe bigger, faster.
Hmm.
Believe bigger, faster. I'm actually doing a series right now. It's a 100 days of believing bigger.
Yeah, I
So
think
I
I
go
saw that
live
on your
every
page.
morning. Yes,
Yeah.
100 days of believing bigger. And guys, it is so effective. You have no idea. Just believing, that is possible. And I think that's what blocks a lot of people is that they don't believe that they're capable.
Hmm.
And they believe that they're going to fail. I went to an event, it's like an event like a that Eric Worre himself had, and he had like some of the top leaders there. And the guy that was speaking, he was a guy he owned all the Virgin stuff, and
Yeah.
I
So,
forgot I
so,
forgot
so
his
Richard
name.
Branson.
Yes, yes. And he said, if you have never failed in business, you haven't been in business long enough. You haven't
Hmm.
tried long enough. He said every single successful person in business have failed. Every single one. But
That's a
it's like you said, they fail forward. Because if you fail now, when you start over, you're not starting over from scratch. You're starting over from experience. Now you know what to do, what not to do. And that's one thing I love. And guess what? Your mentor, my mentor, dude, that guy has been pouring into me even before I met him.
hmm
He was pouring into me. I can't wait for his interview. But I'm not going to keep you any longer. I got one more question for you, and then, I'm going to let you go. I
Yes, man.
want you to give the people one piece of advice. What's one advice that you'd give to someone on the fence about starting their credit journey or actually starting the business? What is one advice you'd give them?
Well, I guess it'll be the same thing. Um it's one of those things where if you say no, nothing changes. When we say yes, that's when you have opportunity. So
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times we say no, and no is really just us trying to protect ourselves from hurt a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
right? And don't get me wrong, it's healthy to say no to people,
Mm-hmm.
right? But make sure you're not saying no to yourself, or make sure you're not saying no to something that can benefit your family.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we understand is life on life, right? Life is definitely going life. So you want to make sure that you're making the right decisions. But I don't see any way that a better credit score could be negative,
True.
right? I just don't see it. There's nothing about that that says that's a bad thing. If someone tells you that it is, then I would run away as fast as possible. And it just says that, hey, this person doesn't make really good decisions. So you want to put yourself in a position where you don't have to say no to your family and friends. You don't have to say no to your loved ones. You don't have to say no to your dreams because of not because of fear. A lot of times it's really
Mm-hmm.
fear. You fear someone's gonna take advantage of you. When a lot of times I get it. It's a lot of things out here that do take advantage of people.
True.
But you know, this business, uh, you know, working on your credit isn't one of those things. I love the fact we got as much credibility that we have. I love the fact that we have so many success stories. I love the fact that we got people that's making tens of thousands of dollars in this business. I love the fact that people are making hundreds of dollars in this business, right? Because sometimes it's what people need. Because all you
Mm-hmm.
need is that little shift, a little paradigm shift, and then you'll be able to really get to that next level in life, whether that's with your credit, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's your finances, whether that's just being around the right type of people that will lift you up instead of, deflate
Dude, you have said a mouthful. You have said a mouthful. Guys, stop being scared. Stop being scared because, is as Coach Flono said, good credit can do nothing but enhance your life.
you. That's it.
It can do nothing but enhance your life. And there's a reason why I chose this time of the year to actually do this because everybody's looking, okay, what am I going to get this person for Christmas? What am I going to buy? What am I going to, and in this time of year is when a lot of people put themselves in debt to buy something that they're not going to need by June. How about investing in you?
Mm-hmm.
How about investing in you? That's the one place you cannot fail if you invest in you.
Yeah, it's a reason why the self deletion rates go up so much during this time of year, and so much pressure on doing for so many other people that sometimes it becomes overwhelming, especially this time of
Mm-hmm.
year because they that's when you look at other people more than other times of the year. So now it's like, hey, you might have to sit this year out. If you're in a place right now where it's already kind of tight, I don't think that putting yourself more in debt is the best way to dig yourself out of that hole.
No,
Now, if you invest in something that can create another stream of income, I think that might be the move. Because Christmas don't have, people don't have to open presents just on Christmas,
that's true.
right? I'm telling you right now, I think people will be very happy with some March 11th uh presents, right? Then people be very happy with some April 9th, April 21st presents. I'm telling you. So um let's go ahead and put ourselves first, put our dreams first. Let's go ahead and put
Mm-hmm.
our best foot forward right now. So that way you won't have to wake up and have to keep saying no to everything.
That's it. And maybe you need to say no this year and invest in something that's going to make you better. So next year you can say yes even louder. You
That part.
understand? And that's just how it is. So, Coach Flono, I do thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed having you. Listen, I hope to bring you back another time to come and talk to us and just enlighten us, with your journey and how it's going, because I just see you going all the way to the top and bringing a lot of people with you.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate it. And I'm definitely glad that you invited me on your platform, and I'm excited about being back. I love seeing your growth. For someone who said they don't do a lot of speaking in public, all right. I heard you last night too. I was like, okay, all right, Tiffany, I see you. So just continue to be a blessing and continue to do God's work, and I know that you're gonna get all your dreams gonna come true as well.
Thank you, Coach. Guys, this is the end of our second interview. Guess what? Stay tuned next week because we have another one coming and it's gonna be just as amazing. Have a great day.
Let's grow.
And before I close us out, of course, we gotta close with our mentor's most famous quote. Either your mind has expanded to meet your goals, or your goals, guys, will just start shrinking to match your mind. Let's do this.
Let's grow.